6 months, yeah. So you've been playing a long time. And what are some other pieces that you're working on besides this one? What are some other pieces that you're working on besides this one?
มีเพลงอื่นเล่นอะไรอีก
Tempest Beethoven
Okay, great.
and Bach Prelude Fugue.
Okay, great.
Allegro Ballae Bartok.
Okay, great.
because she prepared for audition
Oh,
for
I see.
the
For music school?
music school.
Where are you auditioning now? Oh, this next year? I see.
Yes, next year.
Have you decided where you're auditioning? Or still thinking?
Thinking maybe
Still thinking.
Singapore, Hong Kong, and maybe some in US.
Okay,
maybe.
wonderful. Well, good. Let's hear it. Do you want to play the whole thing through? Yeah, okay. I mean, you play really well, and it's very, very solid. You know, you're doing so many good things. Before we get into it today, just tell me what are some things that still feel challenging to you in this? I mean, it's a piece that's always challenging, right? But for you, what are some things that are challenging for you?
In this piece,
In this piece, yes.
some running passage,
Okay. What else? Some running passage. Which running passage? Can you show me which one you're talking about? Okay. We'll talk about that one. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? No. Okay. Good. So the first thing is when we talk about Chopin, we always want to, and you've probably heard this a million times, but you always need to care about his singing line, right? So, can I sit down for a second? Even in the very beginning, I want to know that this is one idea. That's all one idea here. All that. I feel like what happens is I hear you making that phrase, and then somehow I want you to connect all the way to that. Okay, let's do that first from the very beginning. Good, right. So then, can I see you play that one more time? Let me watch your hand. One more time. Yeah. So when you play this, for instance, this is like a call. Can you have nuance that versus that? It's like two different sounds. Yeah. Can I hear that? Good. Go on. Good, okay. This is quite beautiful what you're doing. The thing I don't hear yet with you is this. You don't really hear the ends of your phrases then. That's the end, right? Or just... That's the end. So, can you add in that for me? So, that's the thing I would really encourage you to hear is, I mean, you're doing a great job with your phrasing, but listen to the very end of your phrases, then it'll be even more beautiful. Can we go from here? Listen to the end. Yeah, see, when you play, it kind of sounds like that, but I want you to hear carefully. It's the end of that idea. Relax the end. Try. Listen. Oh, I see your hand. That's why. Part of the problem is your fingering. Just take your hand off. 5-3, or maybe 4-3, something, but 5-5 is quite hard. Maybe 5-3. Try that. 5-3 in the left hand. This is your habit. Maybe you can tell me. So here, maybe so your dad can see this. See this F. You actually have to let go of it. You do this. See, you're holding the F, and then it becomes here. So careful that you do the same thing here. Here, careful. The G, the C is new. G. We'll get to that in a second, but they all are new notes. So why does it matter? Because F is bleeding over. Careful of that. By itself. Right? Yeah. It's a little detail, but I think it does matter there. Off. Right. Okay, good. Okay, so then notice 2 bars of forte and then switch to piano. I didn't hear that yet from you. Can you do that? Just notice so far, what are we doing? Listening to the ends of the phrases. Very good, beautiful. We cared a lot about that F because we don't want it to bleed over. Good. Now we're going to talk a little bit about gesture. So when you do this, you're doing this with 2 hands, which is a good idea. But instead of clipping that, there's still a little bit of resonance. A little bit longer. Can this feel like you're going to the G? Can you try that? It's like, first of all, am I speaking too fast? Can you understand my? Okay, good. If I never know if people understand English. Even they may understand English, but my accent, I have an American accent, so I don't know if it can. Let me know if I am not clear, okay? I'll speak slower. I have a tendency of speaking fast. Go from there. Good. Good for you. Let's put that all together. Okay, so I'm just adding a few details here and there. You're already playing this really well, but I think these details will make it more beautiful. Can you go from the beginning again? So here's the end, listen to the end, new finger in here. Good. I like that. Hear the end of this phrase. Here. Good. Remember this? Remember? Good. Very lovely. Can you switch the dynamic here? It sounds too similar. Yeah. So we're adding details, right? We're adding one thing at a time. Okay. So this, when you do, what I want you to remember is the left hand is never ever going to be more than the right hand. So here, the next comment I'm about to tell you is just about the balance. So when you go from here, I want this to always be underneath the right hand, never more, okay? So if I had to draw it, my right hand would be here, my left hand's here. Careful, if they get too close, this steals the spotlight. I want the right hand to always be in the forefront. Let's focus on that, okay? Can we go from here? thought this is just like a personal taste, but when you trill, instead of measuring it out like you would in Bach, think of it like a free trill. So it's more raspy instead of try not to measure it out, perhaps. Yeah. Good. Then what I hear is bum 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 bum, but it's really it's just a phrase instead of ga 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 gang gang. Just let it flow there. The thing is, it's the same harmony, so you don't have to feel like you have to show the rhythm so much. I like your trill. Can we go from there? Suggest some things to make life a little bit easier. Let's see. When you do, see all those the last note. Notice how I get off of it, right? So I don't have to hold on to it. My pedal's doing that. So see, the pedal's down. My hands are free. Can you try that? So what I'm trying to say is, I think you're wasting some effort because you're holding that, but let the foot do that for you. Yeah, this way it'll be easier for you. Can we go from the trill? Good, right. That's it. That's it. Right. Go on. Sit down. I like that very much. So when you do this, try to voice that with your, I mean, someone already wrote this, but voice the left hand with your thumb. Right? Try to focus on that when you do it. And then that kind of from the key going upward, and then this sort of comes out of that sound. So you have that sound, and then that kind of comes out of it. Like one is related to the other. Okay, so we'll work on that first. So here, voice your thumb. Voice your left thumb. Try that. Voice this. Lovely. Keep on going. Good, go on. So this comes out of that sound. Good. So, good. I get to be picky because you played really well. Instead of this being heavy, it's dia, dia. So the thumb is lighter. Dia, dia. Can you try that? Dia. Right. Thumb is lighter. Yes. Go on. The second note gets lost. Second note, second note. I hear that. Dee-yum. It gets a little lost when you play. Dee-yum, dee-yum. The idea is that it's always a two-note slur. Dia, dia, right? Now, can you not lose your pulse? Dia, dia, da, dia. See, this is always moving along. Now it's a kind of boat song. Can you try that? Is the motive, dia. Very good. I don't hear you listening to the end of the phrase. So I want you to care about that now, okay? We're just adding in details. You already played this very beautifully. Can we do it again? Listen to the end of your phrases and the motive. Dia, dia. Those two things. Try again. Listen. So here, it's better. When you do this, let's imagine that there wasn't octaves. Let's imagine. In fact, we'd probably play it more expressively, but because there's octaves, we think it starts to sound like that a little bit because octaves are harder. Okay, but here's what I want you to think of. Actually, what I want you to do is step one. I just want you to play your left hand and your right hand, but your right hand just a single note. Just that much. Can you do that for me? The reason why I want you to do that because I want you to see how lyrical it can be. Just play your right hand one line and the left hand. So sing that out as much as you can, as if it's just the most beautiful melody you've ever played. One more time. Good, okay. Here's what I want you to notice. When you play that with a single line, there's lots of beautiful ups and downs to the melody, okay? When you play the octaves, you stop that. But I want you to remember what you just did and apply it to the octaves now. Can you try that? Yeah, try to put the octaves in. But remember what you just did. Good, good. Okay, good. Again, I'm just adding things, okay? Much better, but you lose your pulse. So can you have that lyricism, but don't lose this, okay? Can we do it together? It's really good. One more time. I'm gonna help you. If I find that you're slowing down, I'm just gonna remind you by doing this, okay? Can we do it again? See where that is in the music? Can you go back 2 lines before that big climax? And let's see what you remember. Okay, so in these pages here, actually, it'll sound more expressive if you have a kind of pulse. That's the first thing. Second thing is when you play the octaves, I want you to play them just beautifully like you did. So it shouldn't suddenly sound like a march. It should just sound like it's still lyrical, but now we're just singing with our full voice. Okay? Try those two things. I won't stop you. I want you to remember on your own. I thought that was much better. That was quite beautiful. Now, can I sit down? Then after you've done all this, make sure that that's actually not less, but if anything, that's more. There's always it always has that kind of expressiveness, yeah? Go from there, then we'll move on. I'm just, emphasizing what your teacher already wrote in. I think this is a really, really smart idea. Can you do it? You're pedaling through it, but try it. Off, off, off. Right? So it just feels more expressive even with that little rest. Move on to the next section. So now we have sort of, it's not so much the boat song, but it's more like Chopin improvising, right? We have a sense of him changing the music a little bit. Can I hear you get into that? Maybe try 2 bars before that. So these are, you can imagine it's reaching for something. So, or I want you to really feel that you're crescendoing through that gesture, for instance, or can you focus on that? It's always going up and then falling. Try that. Crescendo things. Yes. Good, okay. I like that very much. But then, it's really just like if you don't need to articulate so hard after the top. Think of that as lighter. Another way to think about it, I don't know if you have roller coasters in Thailand. Do you know what a roller coaster is? Yeah? So these are old roller coasters. I don't know if they exist in Thailand, but this is what happens. You go up the roller coaster, and then here, you sort of stop, and then what happens here? It's like, have you ever seen that before? Yeah. Same in surfing. Okay, so why does that matter? The top of your thing is here, and then it should be soft at the top, not suddenly articulate. Just like it would naturally happen with gravity. Right? Can you try that idea? Also is the same idea. So this isn't heavy. It's always to the top note, right? It's like a crescendo, right? Lovely. So then here, can this be one pedal? All those 2 bars is one pedal. Can you try that? I'll kind of outline it for you. So it's like this, and then to there. Can you do that? Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's see what you remember. Go from here. So we're thinking, it's always crescendoing through the top note. Trills before. What was I mentioning? Remember what I said? What did I say? Free, yeah, and so not a measured trill perhaps. A measured trill is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're just sort of gestural. Can you try that? Apply it here. Passage in a second, but then very good. Okay, when you do this, I think this is more blended, right? Careful of that. We don't really need that. It's just filling in the harmony. So see if you can think about a blended left hand, and the right hand's going to soar above that. Maybe we get into it from the trills. Okay, I like it very much. Let's add one thing to that. Can I hear the bass of every one? So just make sure that you hear, I'll give you an example. You know, the bass, 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 bass. You can always hear the bass, right? See if you can follow that. Go from the trills one more time. What's a passage that's still challenging, right? And you mentioned this passage. right? We're gonna get to that right now. What I'm gonna say is gonna seem super simple to you, but what makes this passage hard is because all the information, like all the difficulty is in the left hand. But all the information, let's say the important information, is the melody, it's in the right hand. So the first thing is you need to know what hand is leading. So here, the right hand's leading because it's the melody. So the first thing I want to do with you is I want to make sure that this is voiced noticeably more than this. So let's start with that idea first. Okay. In fact, even before we do that, I want you to play just the right hand for me and play it as beautifully as you can. Just the right hand, okay? Just the right hand. That's the left hand. The other hand, the right hand. Yeah. Important line, actually. That's the important line. The left hand's more difficult, but you see this hand has to lead the left hand. I think what makes it difficult for you is because you're switching it the other way around, you know? Can I hear that one more time? Then we're gonna add in the left hand. We're just gonna, believe it or not, focus on making the right hand more beautiful. Yeah, just that. I want you to put both hands in, and I want you to really focus, believe it or not, just focus on the right hand. Focus on making that really beautiful, just like you did. One more time. Okay, let me add one thing to that, okay? There's like an obsession with the second note. D, da, dee, da, dee, dee, da, 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 dee, ya. Notice how it's always to the second note. Dee, ya, dee, da, da, dee, da, 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 ya. Can you add in that detail for me? You tend to forget that when you put both hands in. One more time. So don't forget that. Don't forget that little detail is like I think really important. It's always to the second note. Can we do that one more time? Last thing is I don't think there's any staccato notes in this. So sometimes what'll happen around here, all of a sudden, I mean here it can be staccato, but here is quite legato. Be careful. Someone already wrote legato. I'm just reminding you. Careful, sometimes you play that staccato, okay? That's all. Good. Noticeably more musical because this was focused on, okay? So when you practice and when you play this, whenever you're going to play this next, focus on that. Okay, can I sit down? So then when you do this, maybe move over here a little bit so the camera can see this. I want you to notice that my arm is not locked, it's free. See how it's swinging? Can you try that? This feels really free to me. And then when we get to like this is a different movement which we'll talk about in a second. But I want you to feel that this is a little higher there. Try that. Just the right hand. Alright. So you feel like your arm is just like you're flinging your arm like that. That's right. That's it. One more time. Can you do both hands? But try to, it's like someone's enlivening your armpit. This feels free, not locked. Yeah, try that. Good. Okay, good. So before, this was the important voice, right? Remember that? Here, what do you think the important voice is?
Left hand.
I think so too. Can I hear you play that really beautifully? Just your left hand. That's really nice. When you put both hands in there, it tends to get choppy. So remember what you just did, and I want you to so see now the left hand's leading, right? This passage is led by the left hand. I know it sounds very simple, but oftentimes we forget that because this is difficult, right? Can you do it from there, both hands? The two-note motive. D-ya to the second note, right? Here are the two notes, right? Go from there. Good. Okay, good. So just back to our conversation. This passage that you just played, what line do you think is important? The right or the left?
Right.
I think so too. So here's what I want you to notice. Here, I'll draw it. Your left hand is more than your right hand, which tells me you're focusing on your left hand. I want you to focus on the beauty of the right hand, like you're doing. Let the left hand be underneath that, not covering that. Try that. Good. Okay, good. I never hear two notes. Dee-ya, dee-da. I need to hear two notes. Yes, good. That's right. Good, okay, good. Better. Notice the balance is better. Can you tell? Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference? Yes? Okay, okay, good. Now you're losing your pulse. So this is sort of the end of the piece, and we kind of know that the music is leading to something, right? It's leading to the climax on the next page. So I want you not to forget the balance, remember the balance, but now don't forget the pulse, okay? You slow down sometimes for no reason, and that's making it harder for you. Can you go back to the same place? We're just adding now the pulse. Care about the pulse. here's what I want you to notice. Can you turn to the last page of the piece? Right. What does piumoso mean? What does that mean? What does that mean in music? Piumoso. Do you see where it says piumoso? Yeah, what does that mean? Faster, right. So your tempos are too similar, so I can't hear a change, right? So if this was your tempo, ya dee da dee dee da da. That was your tempo, dee da da da. So dee ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. That sounds like a piumoso tempo, because it feels different enough, right? If things are too similar, then the audience doesn't really get it, you know? So I want to go right on the piumoso, and then we're going to work backwards. Can you go from the piumoso? Try this tempo. Rum, bum, bum, ba da ba da ba. Yeah. Good. Okay, now, good, you got it. That's the new tempo. Now, remember before when we did the ra? Can you add that in? Remember how you crescendo to the top of the note? Add that in without forgetting the tempo. Good. It's not, it's just a slide. So can you let that rip? Yeah, just go for it. Yeah. Good. Right, but it's not just that, it's that it has to crescendo to the bass. So it moves, you don't have to count it, just play it all the way down to the bass. Do that, then we'll put it into context. So it's something like whatever that's. So you have. Just let this all rip. Let that all cascade down. Before we do that, can you go from here? Think of that old tempo, and then that's the new tempo, right? Make that really extreme. So for me, that's a really exciting ending now. Yeah, does that feel okay to you? Does that feel all right? Okay, so now we're gonna put it into context even more. So play this theme, go from here, and then when this happens, really think about that faster tempo. Go from there, we're just putting it into context now. So let's review what we did today a little bit, okay? I'll just talk through everything we did. So with all of these lines, all these melodic lines, you want to make sure that it's really clear. So every phrase has an up and a down, right? That was one phrase, right? You want to remember that. Okay. Second thing is, sometimes in a lot of this is referencing kind of boat music or a boat song. There's dee-yum, dee-yum, da-ya-da. There needs to be a kind of pulse, right? So you want to think about that. And then remember today, D, ya. Maybe it's 2 notes, right? You have to be careful the top note doesn't get caught in the pedal. D, ya, and new pedal, and new, right? The motive is 2 notes, right? Okay. Then the middle section where we did that's a kind of improvised thing. And remember how we crescendo to the top of that note, okay? Remember that, okay? And then at the very end, just now, we cared a lot about the new tempo at the end, the più mosso, so that it feels energized, right? And then last thing, remember the first question I asked you in the beginning, what's the hardest part? And you said that one place that we worked on today. Our solution was that we made sure that we know what hand is leading. So in that section that you showed me, although the left hand has a difficult passage, the right hand has to lead that, has to be melodic and beautiful. And then 2 lines after that, the left hand leads, right? And so the answer is this: if you know what hands leads, it'll make it sound less like it's struggling. You'll feel like it's more musical and more melodic there. Okay. So I think those are the things to kind of care about. When are you playing this again? Tell me again. Tomorrow. Is it here in Bangkok or somewhere else?
Yes.
It's a concert, in studio concert.
Oh, studio concert in Bangkok. Okay. So, maybe a good challenge for you would be try to, in one day, which is a short time, but try in one day to make those things happen. So you can see the change in one day. I think you're a really talented pianist, so I'll bet you could do those things in one day. Also watch the video. You'll notice that oftentimes if we watch ourselves, you'll learn so much from that, because when we're playing, there's a million things we have to think about. But if we can sort of zoom out and then watch the video, and then if you have the score in front of you, you'll notice all these things, Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks for playing. Good luck tomorrow. Where's the concert tomorrow? Like in Bangkok? Where in Bangkok is it?
In Soi Nana.
Soi Nana. Okay.
อาจารย์ทงสวง studio.
Okay. Well, enjoy that tomorrow.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thanks for coming and playing. Are you the
Thank you
mother?
very much.
Yes.